What's good, everybody? It's your boy. I'm back with another video, and today we actually doing a video, something a little bit different. This is Nicholas Irving interview on the Shawn Ryan show, I believe. And this particular video is the segment about the most intense combat story with an army sniper. So I've actually seen um a couple of videos around this particular uh, his his actual podcast or whatnot. And there was different stories I guess he talked about, but I don't know if I've seen this one or not. So y'all get to watch it with me. So we're gonna see what he talking about. So let me quit talking. Let's get to the video.
When we thought it was over, I look at look at the recce team lead, and I'm like, dude, do you have a grenade? And he already knew I was going with it.
Mm,
If they get in close, we're gonna pull this grenade, hug it, and we're gonna kill them with us, right?
man,
So he pulls out his grenade. Man, 1 second, bro.
man, like, do y'all like? It has to be. That has to be a crazy feeling. I know we just like read into the video, but it has to be a crazy feeling to be in a situation to where you feel like the only way out is to unalive yourself because you know there's no other way out. So you rather take you out and everybody with you because you know ain't no way to be able to fight yourself through it. That's a crazy thought, and a crazy feeling. I've never been in that situation, and I pray to God I never get in that situation. But that's a crazy thing to be feeling. Wow.
Yeah, that's where I fist bump Mike Pemberton. Yeah, we said our goodbyes. You know? 1 second.
It's okay, man.
Like I said, this is the worst one, so I'm good after this one. And I haven't talked about it in a while, so I think that is different. But yeah, say our goodbyes. I fist pound Mike Pemberton, and I'm like, dude, tell my wife I was not a bitch. And he's like, dude, I'm not telling her anything. She's Mexican. She'll cut me. I'm like, yeah, she will.
Hey man, I feel them, bro. As a Spanish people, they legit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like they when they ride for their husbands, well they ride for theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing you can do or say. Like they don't play no games. I know a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? That they flat out crazy when it come to their dudes.
And yeah, he did our little goodbyes or whatever. Waited to these guys to, overrun us. And look over my shoulder, and here's my dumb brain again, my kid brain. I thought it was the Roadrunner. Like when someone's running real fast and you can see the dust kicking up from the back of their feet. It was a machine gun team. Cop, Eric Ennis, those guys. They heard the call. And dude. Yeah. They heard the call of, we were pinned down pretty good. And they came in and extracted us, and we popped smoke. Murphy's Law. We popped smoke, and the wind blew it the opposite direction, so we had no cover, like screen cover or anything like
Oh
that
man.
to bound out. We were going to bound out in twos, and me and Mike Pemberton were going to be the last guys to bound out, covering them as best as we could. As they made it back to the machine gun team on the road that we were originally overlooking, and snipers trying to pick us off as we're running. So I tell Mike, I'm like, dude, zigzag. And I learned this from just, where I grew up. I'm like, dude, if you're getting shot at, zigzag. And And I didn't zigzag. I just V-lined it. And it's the fastest. I felt like I was
Yes, that's another thing. Like, you have all of these things that you're taught. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to prepare for stuff. Even as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember because I live in Florida, so like I remember. You know what I'm saying? Like being told like if I'm ever somewhere and like because there's a lot of water, like lakes and ponds and stuff around Florida, So like, I remember being told if one was chasing me, don't run in a straight line, run in a zigzag line, or whatever. Um, but like when you get in those situations, sometimes you don't think like that, So the first thing you can do is just run. You don't even thinking about zigzagging, nothing. You just trying to get out of there. So 9 times out of 10, you just gonna run in a straight line, because you feel like the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you don't think like that.
running on clouds, man. I could not feel the ground beneath my feet. V-lined it to the machine gun team. Mike's right behind me, and you can hear the cracks of the rifle, and you see the ground pop up, and made it back to the machine gun team. I look at Cop, I'm like, dude, I am sucking. I need water bad. Haven't had water in, like felt like a day or whatever, and really thirsty, and mouth was sticking together and couldn't form any spit. He gives me water out his backpack. I drank half the bottle, gave the rest to Mike, and it's up to me, hey, where are we going? I'm like, well, let's make our way back to the main element where you guys came from, and we'll join up with them and finish out this mission. And as we pick up to move out, I see some guy pop out from the backside of this little house, and I put my rifle over Pemberton's shoulder. We're both facing that direction. I use his shoulder as a brace because we're standing, and I, shot this guy as he poked out from behind the house, and like a walking firefight. And I made the dumbest call of my life, man, of skirting the tree line. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Should have went in it and skirted the tree line, probably tired. Wanted to get to the element as quickly as we could because they were also in a huge firefight, throwing grenades and back and forth, borderline hand-to-hand combat in this little ravine. It was intense, bro. Making it back to them, skirted the tree line, and I shit you not,
Like I'm not big into like I don't know a whole lot about like army stuff like in some of the terminology. So like when he's saying skirted the tree line, like is that him like shooting at the tree line, or is he taking his laser and running it across the tree line? Like y'all let me know in the comments what that is.
saw the ground open up. Like a guy come out the ground, he lifted up the grass, and he came out of the ground, and it's a team of guys, and they started engaging us from, dude, meet at that wall. It's danger close.
Shit.
And we get ambushed, and I remember diving head first. I didn't care how deep this ditch was or what was in it. Dove in, hit water, like chest deep water. We all jump into it, and I look over and I can see Cop, the guy who had just rescued us. He's got his leg up on the embankment. Yeah. Laying down a cover fire. And I can see the dudes' heads in the ground, and I start shooting, and what I could hit, I know I hit one, and got back down, and as I get into cover from the embankment portion, I'm this high in water, chest high, neck high at this point, and I hear this loud sound like an M4. An M4 was right by my ear, and I'm I go to look over, dude, back away a little bit, and there's no one right there. But then I see the embankment behind me the mud like blowing up, and I'm like, holy shit, that's gunfire. So I move off to the side a little bit, and that's when I'm going back up to engage, and I hear this weird slap, and I heard cops scream. And I look, and I see like a water hose, dumb brain again, pumping red water, like squirting into the field. Like, what is that? Then I see him fall, and he's screaming, bro, screaming, cussing and screaming. And his femoral artery was hit, snapped up into his body, and he took 2 rounds to it. And I remember the ravine, the water we were in, like turning different color, dark brown, and it tasted like pennies. And
That's crazy, man. Like, to be getting shot at like that, and then somebody close to you, getting hitting a major artery like that, and then you witnessing it, and it's somebody that y'all been at battle with, you know what I'm saying? So y'all done developed that type of relationship, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot to take in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tip my hat to people that's like, in the Army, Marines, Navy, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a different type of person to commit to something like that, you know? I'm not the one for it.
look at a commander, the lead, who's with us, and by this point he's next to me. So I grab him, I pull him in close to I could talk to him in his ear, screaming, "We need to get there's like 300 meters down this ravine or down here to this opening. That's where we take our dog leg and go across this field in the safe haven. The safe house was going to be there. But we have to go now. We're screwed in this little ravine. And screwed. And as I'm talking to him, I feel a splash of warm water slap my face. And then he just got weightless. And I don't know what I thought. I just thought he just sat down really fast. And he goes down. I wipe the water off my face, and it wasn't water. It was his blood. And I see this right above his body armor, this gaping hamburger meat hanging out of his chest.
That's a brutal shot, man. You got a big chunk of meat dangling out his chest. Ugh.
Time is a funny thing. It's so limited, and yet
I normally watch the ads, but I'm gonna skip past that one.
The embankment, Pemberton comes over, and he just puts his hand inside the wound. And I remember him like screaming. Yeah. And I went black, bro. It's the only time in combat where I like blacked out for a second. I'm staring in his eyes and watching his chest open up and Pemberton's hand in it and him screaming, and cop had stopped screaming at this point, and our medic is working on him. Badass medic, Melvin. His kit bag is floating in the water, and he's doing like surgery, bro. You know?
shit.
Put on 2 tourniquets, bleeding wouldn't stop. He's packing it, trying to, get it to stop. Watkins got hit in his foot, or his ankle. So we're down 3, and one of the recce guys came over and slapped me on my helmet. He slapped me on my helmet, and he's like, dude, get back in it, I'm like, oh, shit, yeah. And he's like, come over here. The sniper, he's not engaging him. And he's like, come over here to me behind this weird little fallen tree. And as soon as I get up next to him to get eyes on anything, we get shot at. And he pushes me, was like, dude, he's targeting you. Everywhere I went down this ravine, pow, crack, crack. And the plead, the cries, and, everybody's jacked up, and cops going in and out of consciousness. And we finally made the decision to Let's just move. We can't get pinned down here.
Mm.
So he passed his body up on the stretcher. And I remember him passing by and just white.
Wow.
And like when we would take cover, we'd shout like, yeah, dude, hold your breath, you know? We'd have to go underwater to get him to safety. And yeah, he, you know, was out of it, lost a lot of blood. And we get to the end of the ravine, and I remember popping out the other side and going into the safe house, and dude, it felt like World War III opened up, and I go down. Pemberton looks back at me. He's like, thought I was hit. He comes and grabs me and starts pulling me. I'm looking up at him like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, I said, we're getting shot at. He's like, no, those are our guys. We had support by fire, machine guns up on top, and I was just so, out of it a little bit. And we get into the safe haven, the little house we had taken over, and the first sergeant was in there, and he's like, hey, you guys get up on top. And we were the first ones to get up on top to provide cover as, cop, and everybody else was coming out. And we were just told to engage everything that was a threat. And
Man, that gotta be insane, man. Just listening to this, like, with everything going on, y'all trying to rescue a guy, you know what I'm saying, that just got shot in the chest and his artery. Like, it's so much going on, and then you gotta try to keep you gotta get, you gotta stay in the fight no matter what. You ain't got time to be thinking about who went down or what, because you got to provide cover fire and this and that. So it's so much going on, bro. Like, that's crazy work, man. Like, I tip my hat to people that gotta go over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't pay me to go over there. Ain't no way. But man, kudos to y'all.
I remember looking out, and dudes were getting dropped off in like vans with the sliding doors taken off, and mopeds and bikes with like 4 guys, 3 guys on them, and RPGs and ammo and machine guns piling out into the city. Pretty far away, and couldn't engage them, too far away, and tried some shots too far away, and just picked off everything else that I could pick off. And yeah, and we called for reinforcements, the Marines, to come in, and they couldn't do it. They had to have more people, like I said, a brigade, and we were told that the best they could do was park their vehicles like a mile away, and we had to run to them. That was
Uh,
like not really an option at the moment. We were going to stay and fight. So we had the guys who, from my platoon, put speedballs together, ready to go, ammo and stuff like that. They were going to fly the helicopters in low, drop off the speedballs, and we were going to get it out and fight all night. Watch the medevac come in and provided cover for them. It was an old school like medevac with the big cross on the side. And watching the guys carry out the wounded and covering them, and stayed to fight. Had 210 bullets and had 6 when it was over left. Did a lot of shooting, and
yeah, you definitely did a whole lot of shooting. You know what I'm saying? Because with you being a sniper, you're not just sitting there just pulling the trigger and holding it and letting go, because you'll run through 210 bullets real fast. But as a sniper, you know what I'm saying, it's pow, pow, you know what I'm saying? That, well, it depends on what you're using, because I mean, if it's semi-auto, then you can shoot, you know what I'm saying, like more like a marksman rifle. Then it's semi-auto, you know what I'm saying, you don't really have to rack it. But um if it's a bolt action, you definitely got to rack every single round. um but yeah, I mean, that's still a lot. That's a lot of shooting from 210 to 6. Yeah, that's 200 of what. Yeah, 210. Yeah, so that's what, 204 bullets he had to shoot.
Yeah. We had to, that was the initial call, was to remain overnight. Luckily, that wasn't the case. And as we were running low on ammo, I'll never forget the call. My first sergeant was like, if you got a bayonet, if you got a knife, get ready. We're going hand to hand if, these guys are going to overrun this compound. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to smoke a guy, get his AK, and fight with that. And if we go hand to hand, hey, Hodge is pretty small.
Yes,
We're
that's an
good.
option.
So luckily, that did not happen. We did make the decision to run out. Everybody was like timid, not timid. It was a rough day. Like hour
Yeah, it was rough.
8, 9 at this point. We have to run out the wide open field, a mile, to get to the Marines that finally made it. And I volunteered. It was like, I wanted to kill myself so much that day. It was like after, like I saw the third guy was hit, debated standing up to get my head taken off, Just tired of it.
Man,
Yeah.
I can imagine. Like, I'm telling you, I said it once, say it again, boy. I tip my hat to y'all because I couldn't do it. There's no way. I couldn't do that. Like, I couldn't make myself, sign up to do nothing like that. Like, I mean, I understand, like, in my household, if it comes to it, I got to do what I got to do to protect my family. But, you know, going out doing that right there and just having to deal with all that gunfire and almost getting shot multiple times, like, because what for really? You know what I mean? Like, what really for? Like, what's the point?
So I was like, I'll volunteer, and I'm not like crying too much, am I?
You're all good, man. I've never heard anything like this.
I'm sucking, bro. But so yeah, I volunteered to lead us out. I had like 6 bullets left. And I told Pemberton, I was like, you take up the rear for the assault team, make sure we're good, and I'll get the front. We're just gonna book it. I don't have time to shoot, So we just start running when they open up the big blue doors, the gates. I have a picture of it, before we ran out. I just booked it, man. See the Marines on top of a hill, and they didn't have enough vehicles for us or whatever. So, yeah, we had to fit like 30 guys in 4 Humvees and on Humvees and piled
Y'all
in. And
packed in there
I
like
had a big
sardines.
500-pound Marine 50 cal gunner laying on my chest, and I'm laying across Pemberton's lap and another assaulter's lap. He's being stood on. It's cram-packed in there. Some guys are piled on, and we drive out. I asked for a cigarette, and this Marine was like, gave me one, and I go to flick it out the hatch, and it landed back in my... I always say that was like the worst part of that whole mission, was having that cigarette burn my back, and this other guy, an assaulter, pouring his canteen out on me, dousing me. I'm like, dude, it's just a cigarette. But we get back, and we got the target we were going after, captured him, and
And what the heck do you mean that was the worst part of that, bro? The cigarette burning you on the back. Bro, you had all kinds of gunfire shooting around you. You had a sniper cracking bullets next to your head. Like, your boy got shot, hamburger meat hanging all out his chest. Like, bro, and you said the worst part is a dang cigarette that you flung out the truck that flew back and landed inside your... Man, shut up. Get out of my face with that. Ain't no way.
I remember doing the quick AAR when we got back, and I'm sitting next to a prisoner before we fly him out to where we have to fly him out to. And I'm sitting next to a prisoner, and I'm leaning up against my rucksack, and dude, I'm dozing off, and I do doze off, and I heard a clear as day, man, bullet snap past my head. So I wake up, I'm looking around, and I'm wondering, why is no one else freaking out? Everyone's just pretty calm and chill, waiting for the helicopters to come in. I'm like, damn, that was not even a gunshot. I'm still hearing bullet snap, And I knew I was like hurt after that. And then a few days later, yeah, a cop died. The first hospital he went to, power went out. So they had to take him to another hospital. Yeah. So that's the guy who saved my life.
Wow.
I've never heard anything like that before.
My bad, bro. Oh, man. Haven't talked about it like that in a while either. But yeah, think about it every day. Every day.
That's crazy.
Every day, man.
That's a wild
No matter
story.
where.
That's a wild story. You know, that's much respect to those who get out there, on those front lines and they fight these wars, and they put their lives at risk, what I'm saying, every day, for whatever reasons that they have to do it, that, they're sent for. And to all of those families that have people out there, prayers to y'all. Um, so I hope that, all of your loved ones make it back and so on and so forth, but I'm definitely gonna have to look at some more of these videos, man, because I mean it's tough to listen to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot going on, a lot that went on, and you can definitely tell he's still affected by it, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean he cried almost the whole time or struggled with it, trying not to cry the whole video. So it's definitely something that still, haunts him to this day. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. We definitely have to check some more of these videos out. But man, if you stay to this part of the video, man, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and tap that notification bell so that way you can catch up the next video when it come out. But until next time, man, we out.